Welcome, I'm Marty Wimmer, and this is Young Performers, a program that showcases our area's best student musicians, students who've chosen to devote their time and talent to making music for us. Young Performers is not a competition. Young Performers is a celebration of the difference learning to play music can make in the lives of young people. As Leonard Bernstein once said, the progress of the human spirit must keep pace with technological and scientific progress, or that spirit will die. And music is at the top of the spiritual must list. So each week we'll hear young performers do their best to express through music their aspirations. We'll share with them their sense of accomplishment, and we'll enjoy some great music too. Today we'll hear from 6 young performers, most of whom haven't figured out their futures yet because most of them can't spare the time. First we'll hear 13-year-old pianist and Taekwondo black belt David Wong. As usual, producer Stratton Rawson is here with me.
And Marty, our first young performer, pianist David Wong, could hardly sit still while I talked to him. He is a 13-year-old bursting with energy, powered, I think, by an insatiable curiosity. So how did you get involved with the piano?
When I was a little kid, I always heard my older sister play. And back then, I thought that piano was just, you could just rub your fingers over the keys and make it sound good, but I was wrong. You see, it certainly looked like that was all she was doing. I asked my parents about it, and they said, you actually need piano lessons. You don't just make up your own thing. There's written songs and all that. You really have to enjoy it to continue it.
The famous Fantasie Impromptu by Chopin, played for us by our first young performer this week, pianist David Wong. You're listening to Young Performers. I'm Marty Wimmer. Well, that was a wonderful performance. It seems as though he just attacks it with a great verve and life, and I thought it was a very exciting performance. What about you, Stratton?
What I liked about that performance, Marty, was how the energy of the two parts of the piece were balanced against each other. First, a kind of swift whirlwind that began it and ended the piece, and in the middle, that quieter, lyrical intensity that he managed.
That tune was also turned into a great pop tune once. I'm always chasing rainbows. Remember that tune?
Watching clouds drifting by. Well, I'll tell you something. David Wong doesn't watch a single cloud drift by. He's a pusher of clouds. So you have other activities besides playing the piano brilliantly?
Yes, I do. In fact, I brought some of this with me. As a hobby, I like to play with these Rubik's Cubes.
Ah, yes.
I used to spend a lot of time on this, but I don't know, I haven't been doing it much recently. After once, it's not complicated anymore. You just need to learn it once, and then everything just falls together.
Oh, now let me ask you a question. Did you take it apart to figure this out, or did you just kind of figure it out and then began to take it apart to see how it worked?
I did become interested in taking it apart. I like to take things apart. My dad's always a little unhappy when I break things, but I do take a lot of things apart. Even pens. I've taken apart probably every pen in my home.
Oh.
About half of them don't work anymore. But, well, it's not just pens I take apart. But.
The Bagatelle, Opus 5, Number 1 by Alexander Cherepnin, played for us by pianist David Wong.
David, that guy who likes to take things apart, apparently gave his program, the pieces that he chose to play for us, a good deal of thought. So, I asked him why he picked those pieces.
I believe that Fantasie Impromptu and the Cherepnin have good contrast. Usually in a recital I would have those two pieces together. The etude was it was just when I heard it the first time, I thought that was just written really well. Chopin wrote it as a study, which means it trains your fingers. But the thing is, it's hard to write a study at the same time sounding like a real piece, and that's something I think he did really well.
young performer, 13-year-old pianist David Wong played Chopin's Black Key Etude, the Etude in G-flat, Opus 10, number 3.